Hello, it's your spiritual guide, JR, and this is New Kings. Today I'm going to lead you through the spiritual wisdom of Egypt. Let me guide you through this journey. Don't be afraid, because the first step of every journey is the most difficult. Let's get this started. Hello. In this series, we're going to discuss ancient wisdom that's been passed down to us from the ancestors from generation to generation. This knowledge is sacred, so we must treat it as such. Let's get started. In ancient Egypt, they had a principle of wisdom, and they named this principle Tahuti. Tahuti was an ostrich-like figure who gave Heru, who was the son of Osiris, the third eye that everyone always talks about. This third eye was the spiritual insight into oneself and to have innate knowledge that was within oneself. Within his principle, Tahuti had 9 doctrines. These doctrines broke down the workings of the universe, how to channel energy, electromagnetic frequencies that control every aspect of the universe. This is the key to having understanding of oneself and unlocking one's abilities that are hibernating within. If you wish to hear these doctrines, keep listening. If not, sadly, you are not ready for this journey. Let us begin. This doctrine is called the Doctrine of Rhythm. Let me read an excerpt from this doctrine. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This doctrine embodies the truth that in everything there is manifested a measured motion, to and fro, a flow and inflow, a swing backward and forward, a pendulum-like movement, a tide-like ebb and flow, a high tide and low tide between the two poles which exist in accordance with the doctrine of polarity. There is always an action and opposing reaction in this physical realm. From this doctrine, we come to the realization that the universe is always in motion. This energy is always in some kind of ebb and flow, in some kind of rhythm that we must always take into account. This isn't negative. This is just the construction of the universe that we've been placed in. So, our next question is, what could we do in an ever-changing universe? That is what we'll explore next. We will now return to the Egyptians. The Egyptians had constructed a solution to this issue. They were well aware that the universe was always in a state of motion, and as a result, they created the mental law of neutralization. This mental strategy involved polarization. This polarization kept oneself at a constant frequency, maintaining balance and deterring oneself from being caught up from the ebbs and flows of the universe. This is the key to mental mastery. This is the key that the Egyptians had utilized to not be swayed in the face of constant danger and adversity during all the invasions of their times. You should be able to polarize yourself to the point where this neutralizes the ebbs and flows. Eventually, the swings of the pendulum begin to balance until it has reached and attained centeredness. This is done by the will. By using the will, you become so poised and so firm in your polarization and your frequency that no matter what the masses are doing, no matter what the ebbs and flows of the universe push oneself to be in, this will not deter you. You will, in a sense, have attained mastery and will not be able to be touched by these elements. This strategy is called alchemy, mental alchemy. This is the process of transmuting energy unto the frequency that you wish to be operating on. By utilizing your frequency, you neutralize all of the ebbs and flows around you. The ebbs and flows around you are at the mercy of whatever you dictated to be, because you are firm, because you are strong, because you cannot be touched. This is the ancient knowledge that has been passed down to us from the ancient Egyptians, who would be well advised to utilize this knowledge to face any adversity, pandemics, or storms that may come our way. This will allow us to live our best lives and become a god. Don't be afraid of that term. A god simply is a power, a force that has influence over another entity. The sun is a god, having influence over all the planets. A black hole is a god, having influence over all the galaxies that are around it. Much like these two forces of nature, you have the full capability of channeling all the energy around you and dictating what it will do in accordance with what you have in your mind. That is your choice. I hope you appreciate the knowledge I just gave you from the ancestors of Egypt. This knowledge is sacred and has been passed down to us in order to uplift all those around us and hopefully bring them into knowledge of self. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for when I drop my next video. Remember, peace, knowledge, and power. I'll see you next time.